Local news, national news, even feel-good news. Delivering the topics that are relevant to you.
That's why I listen to Joe. He covers it all.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Well, we're going to have to talk fast tonight because Laurel is on a timer. Laurel is, she is going to be crashing at any moment now. Laurel is. You got that button thing on again that we sometimes do every now and again. You got that look on your face like you can't quite figure out what the button is, but it's one of the buttons somewhere. So Laurel, who you just heard from in news, during a break she had earlier in the day, she went over to the East End Market and went to the biscuit company and had biscuits and gravy, and then went to Gideon's, the cookie place. And you ate a cookie from Gideon's as well?
Not yet, but I had enough sugar because I had the sweet tea and the biscuits and gravy, and so now I really need a nap. So if I could be excused and I could just go take a nap, please.
Honestly cannot figure out how you're awake. If I had that, I would be unconscious in a gutter somewhere with raccoons sniffing around me. I mean, I would be a mess if I ate something like that.
I was good literally until we started the show, and all of a sudden it hit me, and I'm like, I'm
jealous. I am so jealous when I see people eating cake and cookies and stuff and pies. I'm like, oh man, that looks just so good. But if I ate that, I would be asleep or passed out so quickly. Sugar just goes right to my eyeballs and makes me fall asleep. So I can't do that. Let's start off. Okay, it's Friday, by the way, and in the next hour, at the 6 o'clock hour, we are going to have our Friday night fun and games. So if you came here for Friday night fun and games, we will have that for you tonight in the 6 o'clock hour. So be sure and stick around for that. Before that, though, I do want to get into some more serious issues, some political issues as we head into the weekend. Donald Trump released an angry video last night. Is there any other kind of video from Donald Trump? So Donald Trump goes off half-cocked, sloppy, unprepared, speaking from the hip, uncontrolled. Donald Trump on Ron DeSantis last night on Truth Social.
The very stupid and little respected, China-loving Club for No Growth, which has been backing Ron DeSanctimonious as his poll numbers have been absolutely crashing, has just spent some of the rhino money they have accumulated on an ad campaign, hoping to counter the fact that DeSantis, just off the worst presidential launch in history, opted 3 times to cut and destroy Social Security, even lifting the minimum age to 70 years old. He also voted to cut Medicare and institute a 23% national sales tax, which will hit our country hard. Ron has always been a loser. In fact, he was going to lose the election in record numbers until I endorsed him. So it was an artificial win. In any event, Club for No Growth, they were with me and they won. When I cut off ties to them, they continuously lose. Let's keep it that way.
The impetuous child, Donald Trump, calling names. I mean, that's his go-to move, isn't it? Calling names and everything else. I love policy Donald Trump. I just don't like the person Donald Trump. I'm exhausted from Donald Trump. So Donald Trump went out of his way to record a 1-minute anti-Ron DeSantis commercial, if you will, last night on Truth Social. Well, I have put together all of the times, not all of the times, a whole bunch of the times in which Donald Trump actually had other things to say about Governor Ron DeSantis.
Do you believe Governor DeSantis is handling this well?
I do, because he's a very talented guy. He's a very good governor. Everyone loves him. He's doing a fantastic job for Florida. No, Ron's a very tough guy. He's a great governor. Governor of Florida, great governor. Ron DeSantis issued one today. And that's good. That's great. Well, I have a lot of confidence in Ron DeSantis, a lot of faith in Ron DeSantis to make the right decision. He's doing a great job as governor. Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, who's done a spectacular job in Florida. Enjoys very high popularity, and that's for a reason. The reason is he's doing a good job. And Ron DeSantis, as you know, governor of Florida, was here yesterday, and he gave, I thought, a really good presentation of how he's doing it, what he's doing, how he's opening. You might have seen it.
I did.
And he did a very good job. You could ask Ron DeSantis, great governor of Florida. Ron DeSantis of Florida, the governor, doing a fantastic job in Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis doing a fantastic job. A governor like Ron DeSantis of Florida is doing a great job. Governor Ron DeSantis, who's turned out to be just incredible, and the coronavirus, you see, is going down rapidly. And he's been doing a great job and working very hard. Your governor's done a great job. Florida is down low now in the China virus. It's China virus. We had Florida. We had a spike, and the governor did a great job, DeSantis. You have a great governor here. We had surges, and they went up, and they went down. And now you're at your lowest numbers. And you're open, and you didn't close. So we're joined today by one of the greatest governors in our country, but this is a great one, Governor Ron DeSantis. He's done a great job, and he's been my friend. You know, Florida's open, all this. Florida had a surge, great governor, because we're in a place called Florida, and we have a great governor. We have a great governor. Now, Ron's doing a great job, thank you. The only one better is his first lady. There's no question about it. Great couple, and he's great.
My question for you is, which Donald Trump do you believe? Do you believe the Donald Trump that time and time and time and time and time and time again praised Ron DeSantis? Or do you believe the Donald Trump now that has nothing but brutal words to say about Ron DeSantis? 844-580-WDBO. It's 844-580-9326. Use the open mic in the WDBO app.
The very stupid and little respected, China-loving Club for No Growth, which has been backing Ron DeSanctimonious as his poll numbers have been absolutely crashing, has just spent some of the rhino money they have accumulated on an ad campaign, hoping to counter the fact that DeSantis, just off the worst presidential launch in history, opted 3 times to cut and destroy Social Security, even lifting the minimum age to 70 years old. He also voted to cut Medicare and institute a 23% national sales tax.
So there you go. That's, again, that is Donald Trump talking about Ron DeSantis. So you'd have to ask the question of Donald Trump, which, sir, is the truth? Are you telling the truth when you're bashing Ron DeSantis, or were you telling the truth when you were praising Ron DeSantis? Or were you duped? Were you not smart enough, Donald Trump? If Ron DeSantis is such a bad person, did he have you duped? Are you not smart enough to realize that Ron DeSantis is an evil, terrible person? Or are you lying? Neither is a good look for you, Donald Trump. You were either lying deliberately then, or you weren't smart enough to pick up on Ron DeSantis not being a good person, and now you're finally telling the truth. Now you finally understand who Ron DeSantis is. So which is it, Donald Trump? Were you lying then, or not smart enough to figure out what kind of guy Ron DeSantis is? And as a voter, which Donald Trump do you believe? Do you believe in the Donald Trump that hates Ron DeSantis, or do you believe in the Donald Trump that thinks that Ron DeSantis is the greatest politician ever? I know those weren't his words, but I'm just giving you the two extremes here. 844-580-WDBO. It's 844-580-9326. You can use the open mic in the WDBO app right now. Jump on board and let me know your thoughts here on Donald Trump and his words about Ron DeSantis. All right, let me throw something else onto the fire here for us today. A major Food and Drug Administration, FDA regulatory advance, has made it now so that we can start eating lab-grown meat. The FDA has given the green light to retail sales of lab-grown, no-kill, cultivated meats for U.S. sale. And 2 companies are already ready to invest their money in it. They've already invested hundreds of millions of dollars in it. But there are two companies that are ready to go full bore with this. And you could see lab-grown meats on grocery store shelves in a matter of weeks. This is cultivated meat, which is grown from animal stem cells without having to kill the animal. It's created by extracting cells from an animal and growing the cells in a controlled environment by providing nutrients. So no animals are killed for this, but make no mistake, it is real meat. It is real flesh. So this is not, the pink slime where you got to ask yourself, is it horse hooves that we're eating? Is it cow eyelashes? Are these pig snouts? What is it we're actually eating in this? This cultivated, lab-grown, no-kill meats is real meat. And they're going to release chicken products first. And those are going to be real chicken products. So if you're a vegan for health reasons because you don't want to eat meat, then this is not an option for you. But if you're a vegan because you feel sorry for animals on farms and you don't want anybody killing animals on your behalf, then this might well be the meat for you. Because again, it is real meat. And if you're a vegan, and you're a vegan because you don't want to ingest meat, then, man, you do not want to be eating this lab-grown meat. 844-580-WDBO. Use the open mic and the WDBO app. Will you be consuming lab-grown meat? My first reaction to that is, after you, please. I think I'm going to wait until everybody else tries it first, and I'll be a Johnny-come-lately on that and say, all right, it's not bad, not that bad. 844-580-WDBO. Cecil is up first from Mount Dora. Cecil, you're on the Joe Kelley Show. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm so glad you're here in the afternoon for doing things. I turn around and a little brighter sunshine there for Central Florida for doing things.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I'm really upset with Donald Trump going after his own party for doing things. And the idea that he stoops so low for doing stuff, and like you showed it earlier in the little broadcast that he flip-flopped for doing stuff. You support somebody, you don't support somebody for doing things. How sad is that? And that's the only reason why I like his ideas back when he was president, but I'm really upset with what he's doing right now. And Scott Smith from South Carolina, I love what he's doing.
Yeah.
I love DeSantis for what he's doing for doing things. And I love to see Nikki Haley there for vice president for doing stuff. So I think she'd be the ray of sunshine to turn around and keep the boys straight for doing things.
A lot of good thoughts there, Cecil. Very good. Thank you so much, man. I'm so glad you called. Let's go to Tony, who's checking in from Orlando at 844-580-WDBO. Tony, you're on WDBO. How are you?
I'm doing great, sir. Awesome talking to you again.
Thank you.
I'm going to be, you can't possibly be the last guy in line for the lab-grown meat because I'm of the never going to happen. I would prefer to be dead before I eat the lab-grown meat.
I will tell you that, Tony, the COVID vaccine shot changed my life. It changed who I am. And I was a pretty trusting person prior to COVID and to getting the COVID vaccine. But now in hindsight that we can look back and see all of the health risks that are associated with it, all the people who were maimed, injured, or died from it, all the people who still got COVID even though they got the shot, I just know that we were lied to time and time and time and time and time again about the COVID vaccine. And I can't believe anybody ever again when it comes to putting things in my body.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the lab-grown meat. I don't ever see myself eating bugs, which is also something the crazies are pushing. But, have I ate calamari? Do I like it? Yes. There's lots of things that I eat. I have a very diverse diet, but I'm not going to eat anything lab grown if I can, unless my lab is my backyard.
Right.
And I'm growing it. That's about the only way I'm going to do it.
It's so funny, Tony, that you say insects, because we had a discussion about this a few weeks ago, and I ordered a bag of June bugs to eat. They're 100% edible June bugs. And how long ago, Laurel, did I order these? Do you recall how long? A couple months?
Yeah, a month or two, yeah.
And I have not eaten them yet.
The bag is still sealed.
It's still sealed. I cannot. I will one of these days. I will tear open that bag and try to get everybody here that I work with to try it. But damn, I can't get past the fact that they're bugs. And I just don't know that I don't want June bug legs in my mouth and getting stuck in my teeth. Hey, Joe, you've got a June bug leg stuck in your teeth. I mean, that just sounds disgusting, doesn't it?
So I think that I'm a tiny bit older than you, or we're essentially the same age. And I remember decades ago, like in the 20th century, they were selling chocolate-covered insects at a grocery store in Florida. But they were like ants. So what you did is you got more chocolate than you did ants.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
It's like fried okra. I don't like okra. I don't mind fried okra because it's fried, you know?
Right. So that's the only way I see that happening. And I'm not going to eat lab-grown insects either.
No, absolutely not. All right, brother. Thank you, Tony, so much for your phone call. I'm so glad you're listening. 844-580-WDBO. You can use the open mic in the WDBO app. You can watch the behind the scenes in our chat right now on the WDBO Facebook page. You can look for the Joe Kelley Show podcast. You look for the Joe Kelley Show Facebook page on Facebook near you. I'm Joe Kelley. We'll continue with more of your calls coming up.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
All right, Chris is in Deltona, 844-580-WDBO. And Chris, you have what I believe is the $1 million question, and it is the single question that I had about this. So, hi, Chris, go ahead.
Hi, yeah. So, I don't agree with this manufacturing of meat.
Yeah.
I guess
lab-grown meat. Yep.
First of all, I think it's not our place. You know what I mean?
That I do know that, because it's not our place to play God.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, God provided us with all of the animals to eat.
Yes. And then second of all, am I going to go to, I don't know, Roadhouse or Longhorn? Are they going to tell me that it's lab grown?
See, that to me is the $1 million question. If you go to the grocery store and you're looking at chicken breasts, are the lab grown chicken breasts going to look or be labeled differently than the natural chicken breasts?
Right.
And as you said, if you go out to a restaurant and order, a grilled chicken breast or a fried chicken, whatever. If you order a chicken sandwich, I mean, how do you know if you're...
Or when they go to steak,
Yeah, if you're going to Chick-fil-A, how do you know that your chicken nuggets... I mean, there's already enough question about chicken nuggets anyway as to what's really in a chicken nugget. But yes, I hope that there is a law that exists that says that any kind of artificial meats that are grown must be labeled as such. And if that law doesn't exist, call your congressman now and tell them they need to sponsor that so we as consumers can know what is real and what is not real.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Talk and discussion on the latest breaking national news.
Crude oil prices continue to fall.
Local news.
You're not going to have Disney have its own government in Central Florida.
And stories that matter to you. Use the open mic in the WDBO app and let your voice be heard on the Joe Kelley Show.
All right, Laurel, I've got a question for you. I've got a TIL, but it involves a question.
All right.
Does the name Roger Corman ring a bell at all to you?
No, it does not.
Roger Corman. Roger Corman was the king of B movies. He never made any blockbuster movies, but he was the king of B movies. Terribly written, terribly acted, terrible special effects, large-breasted women, scantily clad. I mean, these were the classic B movies of the 1950s and 1960s. Well, Roger Corman in 1954 had a movie called The Fast and the Furious. Now, does that ring a bell, The Fast and the Furious?
Well, only because of the other one.
Right. So when Vin Diesel and all the other people made the new Fast and the Furious franchise, they actually had to pay movie licensing fees to Roger Corman for the title of the movie, The Fast and the Furious. Now, in order to avoid paying licensing fees to Roger Corman after the original Fast and the Furious, that is why there has never been The Fast and the Furious 2 or 3 or
That's
4.
why they keep making up dumb names for them. Fast X, Fast whatever.
That's exactly right. So today I learned that's why there's never been a Fast and the Furious 2, is to keep from paying the estate of Roger. He died some years ago, but to keep from paying the estate the licensing fee for the Fast and the Furious. How about that?
I like it.
We all learned something today now, didn't we? All right, 844-580-WDBO or use the open mic in the WDBO app.
Joe, I wish you wouldn't curse.
Did I curse?
Maybe was he... No, you told that story about New Orleans off the air. I don't know. I was thinking that. I was thinking that we were coming around, but that was...
So sometimes in the chat room, I will curse.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
lightly.
I remember
lightly.
which one's which.
I don't drop big curse words. Did I? So for anybody listening, did I curse? Did I say something? I'm not denying it. But and I heard Eric Erickson say this a couple days ago. I heard Eric Erickson say that the second words leave his mouth, he forgets them. And I've never heard something that I can relate to so well. The second words come out of my mouth, I forget the words that I said. If you were to come to me with a book of quotes and said these are all Joe Kelley quotes, I guarantee you that quote after quote after quote, I'd be like, I said that? Really? What was the context? Why would I say that? So I don't know. If I did say something, someone let me know what it was I said, and I will work on that. I don't like to cuss. I don't cuss much. I guess that's a relative term now, isn't it? Whether or not one cusses much. I cuss more than Josh.
But you're not a pirate.
I'm not a pirate. I cuss more than Laurel. I certainly cuss more than my wife, who never cusses, which is so both sweet and annoying at the same time. Chris in the chat said I said the D word. Damn.
Oh, yeah, you might have.
Yeah, I might have said that. Yeah, and that's on me. That's a lack of better vocabulary. I've got to work on that to be sure. We also have an open mic about our, quote, traffic girl. Beverly Bentley Steele, do you want to hear the open mic about our traffic girl?
I'm afraid.
Right.
Curious.
I know. I feel the same way. Every time I listen to an open mic, I've got my shields up. I'm always protecting myself. Like, oh gosh, someone's going to say something really, really terrible.
Whoa! 2 nights in a row, the new traffic girl's got jokes. All right.
We laughed. I didn't catch tonight's joke yet, but we laughed heartily.
June bug.
Oh, the June. I still missed the joke.
You only had a couple of weeks to eat those.
Oh,
June
yeah,
bugs.
right. So yeah, I caught the one last night. I laughed last night about that.
I always wonder because my humor is a little off sometimes.
And Beverly Bentley Steele, if I can point out, she has worked with us for years and years and years, so she's hardly new. But you generally work with our other stations. We have 5 other radio stations in the building, and you generally work with our other stations. And you're not here permanently. Paul Cross was. We're playing musical chairs right now with our traffic team. So Paul Cross has been moved to mornings while Ed is off, and then so Beverly Bentley Steele comes in and fills in for Paul Cross while Paul Cross fills in. You get the idea. So Paul, I guess, is going to be back maybe not next week, but the week after that. So stand by for that. My name is Joe Kelley. You're listening to The Joe Kelley Show.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
The aforementioned Beverly Bentley Steele is checking our Friday afternoon drive home.
and I will not cuss as I report this traffic. I will let you know that it's not pretty, and drivers may be saying a few expletives, especially if you're heading around Champions Gate area. We all know that is just one messy area to try and get, and you lose your mind as well as your patience when you're traveling on I-4 through there. 3 miles worth of backups before Highway 27 to Champions Gate, and then on the westbound side, you know it's not much better. Osceola Parkway to past the 429. From the WDBO Triple Team Traffic Center, I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Hello, Joe. This is Irina Galyulin from Czechoslovakia. I just called to tell you we've been eating lab-processed, lab-grown yak for many years. It's very tasty. Very, very good. I highly recommend. So no worries.
You know, honestly, if I were to have to eat a lab-grown meat, I want to eat a lab-grown meat that I've never eaten before in real life, the real meat, right, Laurel? So, like, if they're going to serve me lab-grown chicken, I know what real chicken tastes like. So I've already got a standard by which I can judge it. But if they were to give me processed yak meat, then I wouldn't know what to do with processed yak meat because I don't know what yak meat tastes like.
Right, yeah. Or, well, I've never had bison or gator, and I know those are more, like, available. But still, I would want to try that before I tried a lab-grown cow.
Yeah, I want to try, feed us lab-grown python meat. Or just, again, some sort of meat that we don't generally eat. And I think that will be a better option.
There's no comparing then. You're like, okay,
right.
That's what it tastes
right.
like. I'm willing to buy that.
Right. Then you can't say, well, I don't know, natural python tastes better than lab-grown python.
Right.
You know.
Well, did you say Biden, Joe?
Oh.
Because if you said Biden, you cursed. Shame on you.
Was that my curse word? Ronnie said I said both damn and hell. So mild curse words.
Oh. Your wife's keeping count.
I know. I'm sure she's praying for my salvation as we speak because I've got a bit of a foul language at times. So
hey, this is William from Orlando. Yeah, anything made in a lab anymore, I think I'll pass because it seems like something always in the end comes out bad. I'll pass. Give me my meat.
That was a good impression.
That was a good impression.
Not bad. I kind of like that.
What was that loud boom in Apopka, Florida just 5 minutes ago? Inquiring minds want to know.
Boom, boom, boom. Anybody else hear that in Apopka about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago? Anybody get that? I don't know. Could there have been a flyover that created a sonic boom? Perhaps. Could it have been bombing at the Ocala Range? Have we had any word lately of bombing at the Ocala Range? Usually they notify us and let us know when there's going to be.
They normally do. I didn't see it. I also didn't actively look. So let me actively look to see if they sent us.
Yeah, it could be. There's a few things that it could potentially be, I would imagine.
All you got to do is take the lab-grown meat, throw in a few of the bugs and crickets and stuff they want us to eat, couple it with a 3D printer, and you got the food maker from Star Trek that they used to go down and they'd get their food out of the machine.
Didn't they call that the replicator?
Yes,
the replicator. We never find out how Star Wars people eat, but we do find out how Star Trek people eat.
They have food in Star Wars. It's just not magic like Star Trek's.
Yeah, it doesn't just magically show up. That's the dream, though, isn't it?
I don't know which one was better, if the one Donald Trump or the other Donald Trump. All what I know for sure is that Ron DeSantis betrayed all Floridians after we vote for him. And that is never going to be forgotten.
It's always helpful if you explain why you feel that way, what it was that he did to betray all Americans. I would always love to be able to hear that part of the open mic as well.
Soylent Green is people.
Yeah. Believe me, I keep thinking about the same thing.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing, they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Promise, Tiger. I promise. I'll tell the exchange.
You tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them. Silent Breed is people. We've gotta stop them.
Oh, Charlton Heston. What was that movie? There was a movie, then there was a series, and it was all a remake off like a French movie. It was this train on the frozen earth, and the train couldn't stop moving, and it had to keep going continuously. Do you remember what that was called? It's been redone like 3 times. Snowpiercer. Yes, thank you very much, Josh, for the win. So in Snowpiercer, it's the same story in that everybody that is alive on Earth is on a moving train that circles the Earth. The Earth is completely frozen over, and the only source of, well, it's not the only source of food, but for the poor people on the train, they're all fed humans. They're all fed gelatinism people, and it is disgusting, and especially when they realize what they have been eating all of this time. 844-580-WDBO. It's 844-580-9326. You can use the open mic and the WDBO app. We're talking about 2 different things right now. Donald Trump slams Ron DeSantis. Meanwhile, we've got audio of Donald Trump praising Ron DeSantis for the last couple of years. And we're also talking about the FDA giving the green light to lab-grown meat for human consumption.
Absolutely not. That stuff would never touch my lips.
All right, so I'm going to put you down for a maybe then on that one, okay?
I am not eating no lab-grown chicken. Next thing you know, I'm making sounds like this every minute of the day.
I don't know if that is a natural side effect.
Isn't it a little weird to eat a chicken that has been, clucking around the farm, stepping in its own poop and eating who knows what, and then you have to pluck it, and then you slaughter it and pull off its guts and its veins and whatever. It almost makes lab-grown meat sound a little more tasty.
I see where you're coming from. I see how you got there. But a chicken, even though it's gross, one would imagine. I've never cleaned a chicken before. I've never beheaded and cleaned a chicken. I would just feel like that's a much more natural process than whatever they've done in a laboratory to grow chicken meat. That just sounds so unnatural, and it sounds unhealthy. It sounds disgusting. And again, I don't believe the FDA or anybody else in our government. I don't believe anybody when they tell you, oh, no, it's safe to eat. It's safe to take the shot. It's safe. This is all safe. I don't believe them. I believe there are ulterior motives. I believe that there's just bazillions of dollars that are at play here for different power players and different government officials, and I just don't trust them as far as I can throw them. So I'm going to have to let all y'all eat the lab meat before I eat the lab meat. I mean, I'll eat a June bug before I eat lab meat, though I'm not going to eat a June bug anytime soon. 844-580-WDBO. You can join me now. 844-580-9326. Use the open mic in the WDBO app.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. In-depth segments on topics that matter to Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and all of Central Florida. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
I love your show every night. You're doing great, bud.
It's kind of refreshing tonight not having rain everywhere, right? We do have a little bit of rain down south, down near Yeehaw Junction. Moving out towards Palm Bay and Melbourne, but we don't really have any. And we got a little bit of rain up towards Leesburg and the Villages, and that's about it, man. All of Orange County is dry. All of Seminole County is dry. Just a little bit of rain on the south end of Osceola County right now. So otherwise, it is looking pretty good outside. Friday night fun and games with some great trivia questions. This you don't want to miss. You do not want to miss this, so hang on. It is coming up next.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Now, WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Triple Team Traffic.
Well, my prayers have been answered. No rain on a Friday. That is always a nightmare. So what we're seeing now is that I-4 eastbound is actually looking better. Still doesn't look good, but at least it's not horrible. I-4 eastbound is slow from Highway 27 now, not that 3-mile delay before it, in towards Champions Gate. Busy again at the 429 and at Sand Lake, and it's solid around State Road 535 and Lake Buena Vista. Heavy again from Fairbanks to Lee and 46A to the St. Johns River Bridge. On I-4 westbound, it's busy, really busy, from Sand Lake to 536 and then solid before 192 to the 429. From the WDBO Triple Team Traffic Center, I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Connected to our community. Talk local issues and events with Joe Kelley. Use the open mic in the WDBO app and let Joe know what interests you. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Well, it is Friday, and on Fridays at 6 o'clock, we like to unwind a little bit. We loosen up our neckties. We unbutton the top button of our pants. We just kick back and relax a little bit. Did I go too far on that one? And we just share some fun and games with our listeners, with you, with one another. And tonight we have a combination of some trivia questions and some would you rather questions. And let me introduce the cast of characters that are going to be joining us for tonight. First and foremost, of course, always Laurel Lee. Hello, Laurel.
Hello there.
On the phone lines right now from our Facebook chat group is Michael Gray. Hey, Michael.
Hey, everyone.
Good to have you here.
Yep, I'm glad to be here.
Then on the control board, we have Josh.
Hey, everyone.
And then we have me. I'm Joe. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, everybody. All right, so your first question. What were the 4 main characters' names in the TV series The Golden Girls that ran from 1985 to 1992? First names only will work. Laurel, you're up first.
Oh, Dorothy, Blanche. I don't remember the rest of them.
Oh, you really know one.
That was impressive that you got that far. Michael, what are the 4 women's names?
Laurel stole them from me. Those are the only ones that I remembered,
Rose.
and I was just asked this trivia question. I did not remember the answer, so I don't have any more besides those 2.
Josh?
Well, obviously everyone knows Dorothy and Blanche.
Yes.
And Rose.
Yes.
That Laurel just said in my ear nicely. Laurel, I've got all 3 of my answers from Laurel, by the way. And the last one is Etheridge, Dolores, Earl, Bethelda.
I will tell you that we have one of those here at the radio station for the last name.
On this staff?
Yes.
Or in the building somewhere?
On this staff.
Marcia.
Nope.
Scott.
It's a woman.
Laurel.
Sophia.
Sophia. That's exactly right.
The old one.
For what it's worth, I would not have known any of those at all. Are you kidding me?
Fun and games. Here we go.
Alarms.
Are you kidding me? So that alarm is our weather alarm, and that is going to be Osceola County. So everything goes on hold for a second, guys. As we have, once you put Michael, put Mike. There we go.
Indian River County in East Florida, southern Brevard County in East Central Florida, southeastern Osceola County in East Central Florida, until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 6:07 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles south of Kenansville, moving east at 15 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. This severe thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of west central Indian River, southern Brevard, and southeastern Osceola counties. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Serving Orlando and special weather statement. A strong thunderstorm will impact portions of southwestern Brevard and east central Osceola counties through 6:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 6:08 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm 9 miles southwest of Camp Holly Fish Camp, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Hazard, winds in excess of 40 miles per hour and pea-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor damage to outdoor objects is possible.
All right, 6:09 here at WDBO Storm Center activation. How ironic it was. I was just mentioning how refreshing it was to not have severe weather, to not have rain on the drive home this afternoon. I will tell you that this changes very little for the majority of our listeners. For most of you, this activation is going to have minimal impact. You got to get all the way down to Yeehaw Junction at the very, very far south end of Osceola County to get to where the storm is. The population out there is not incredibly high. It'll skip over some unpopulated swamp area and then reappear over by Palm Bay and Grant, Valcaria, and Melbourne, Satellite Beach, Vieira. But right now, this is in South Osceola County. We will keep you updated as this storm continues to develop. As you heard just a moment ago, this storm is expected to last. Let me pull that up. This national severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 6:30. So for another 19 minutes or so, this is going to be in effect. And I just realized I misspelled Storm Center in the app push that just went out a moment ago. So my apologies for I put too many M's in there. All right, Laurel, you ready for your next question? I think you are.
Let's do it.
And do we have Michael back with us here? Okay, good. We got Michael.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so let's go to our next question. And again, this is going to be a trivia question, and I would not get this one. What are the names of Cinderella's stepsisters, Laurel?
It's Anastasia and
Rose,
Beatrice.
Sophia.
I can't remember the other one.
Michael, what were the names of Cinderella's stepsisters?
Was one of them Druella?
Druella. No.
That's the Dalmatians, right?
Nope.
Oh, that's Cruella.
Oh.
Josh, what about you?
Michael. And
No. And I wouldn't know it. It's Anastasia. So you were right, Laurel, on Anastasia. And Drizella.
Michael was close.
That's very close, yeah.
Drizella. So there you go.
There's only two?
Yeah, there's only two bad stepsisters
Oh,
and
okay.
an evil stepmom.
Right. What is the biggest selling music single of all time? Not album, single. The biggest selling music single of all time. Laurel.
I'm never going to give you up.
That's a good guess. A Rick Astley song, yeah? Josh.
I feel like it's going to be Justin Bieber, Baby. Something newish.
Michael?
I'm going to go with My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic soundtrack.
Oh, what a good guess. Which, by the way, that song is now back in the Billboard Hot 100. Would you care to guess why? Suddenly, 5 people die in a submersible, and Celine Dion is making more money.
Well, isn't she also in the news for a rare disease or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Candle
syndrome.
Candle in the Wind.
Really?
Wow.
Because remember, that was the song that Elton John sang and he rewrote it for Princess Di.
Oh, right.
And so this was 1997, and so that is the biggest selling single of all time. What is the smallest country in the world, Laurel?
It is, this is going to be wrong, Qatar?
Michael.
Vatican City.
Vatican City is the right answer.
That's what I was going to say.
Me too.
Way to go, Michael.
All right.
Smarties.
What? I'm sorry?
They're smart.
Oh, I thought you said farties.
I've never been to that country. I bet it smells.
A group, none of y'all are going to know this.
Got it.
A group of ravens is known as what?
Can I go first? No, I'll ruin it. I know this one.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
It's not the same as a crow, though, because a group of crows is a murder.
Correct. It's not the same as crows.
I lost my confidence.
Oh, no.
Ravens, I don't know.
Michael, do you know?
I'm going to guess cloister. A cloister of ravens.
That's a very good guess. It's wrong. I mean, don't be mistaken. It's wrong, but it's a good guess. Did you have a guess then, Josh?
What do you call a group of nuns? That's my guess. Is it like a coven?
Why are you changing the subject?
I want witches.
The same. Oh, is it?
That's my nuns guess. Aren't witches. Oh, you're saying covens are witches.
They kind of dress the same. Yeah.
Okay. Can you stick to the... to the ravens, please?
Yeah, that's my answer. I have the same answer.
A coven?
A coven.
Okay,
A coven of ravens. No, that sounds bad when you say it out loud.
Unkindness.
Seriously?
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I even looked it up. I was like, there's no way that a group of ravens are called an unkindness of ravens. I looked it up, and it is absolutely true. It's
Darwin
called an
would not
unkindness.
be happy. His descendants are getting bored.
It's horrible. What is the hottest planet in our solar system, Laurel?
Mercury.
Michael.
Venus.
Dang it.
I thought it was Venus.
It is Venus.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, should you shut up?
I was going to say Jupiter, so I would have been wrong.
Michael, we can't let Michael back on again.
All the methane.
That doesn't help.
Oh, no, we suddenly lost Michael. Sorry, Michael. Connection bad in the rain, probably.
Michael says all the methane, like, guys, come on. You know that Venus has methane.
Between him
I
and
don't know that.
Yeah.
Chris, why are all our listeners smarter than us?
I don't know. It's terrible. It's very, very, very terrible. Which of Newton's laws states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction? Laurel.
I was going to say the second one, and then Josh gave me 3 fingers. So,
So what is your answer?
1.
Just one.
Yeah,
Just
the one law.
That one law.
That one law.
All right, Michael.
I don't know. The only thing that's going to pop in my head, and it's wrong because it's Einstein, but I'm going to say relativity.
Josh.
Thank you, physics. It's the third.
The third law of motion.
That's right.
Yes. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
The first is for an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an equal... No, 4. I lost it. I had it, but then I lost it.
Listen, I had to cheat to get through physics, okay? So there's no way I was getting this one.
How long is New Zealand's 90-mile beach? Laurel.
100 miles.
No.
It's probably measured in kilometers.
Michael, how long is New Zealand's 90-mile beach?
I was just going to say 90 miles, but now Josh has made me second-guess myself because they probably do use kilometers.
Josh, do you have an answer?
Oh, I didn't know if he gave an answer. I'm just here second-guessing people. I'm going to say 90 miles. Take the bait.
It's 55 miles.
90 kilometers?
It's 55 miles, but now I want to know how many kilometers is 90 miles?
Ask your girl. Ask your computer.
Hey, Google. How many miles is 90 kilometers? No.
That's right.
No, it's not
How many
right.
kilometers is 55 miles?
Where is?
So 55 miles is 88.5 kilometers.
Okay.
So it should be the 90-kilometer beach.
Okay. A group of flamingos is called what, Laurel?
Oh, I knew this one point. It is called a shrimp.
Michael?
A night out with the grandmas.
Josh?
I'm going to call it a cha-cha line.
Cha-cha line is good.
Yeah, it's something fun like that. It's got style. This
It
answer.
does have style, and it is something fun. It's a flamboyance.
There you go.
A flamboyance of flamingos.
Cock your leg at me.
Okay, and I love this question. What fictional character is believed to be real by more than 25% of Americans? Laurel.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Michael.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Josh.
The Loch Ness Monster.
The correct answer is Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
That a quarter of Americans believe that Sherlock Holmes is a real person.
Well, it doesn't help you can visit his house in London.
Well, that's kind of where I am with King Arthur.
Real street.
Like if you start talking about King Arthur, I'm like, hang on. Was there a King Arthur? Was there a Knights of the Round Table? Was there a Guinevere? Was there a
Robin Hood?
Ooh.
Well, that's a different story, isn't it? Robin Hood?
Oh, you were all in the same story with all your King Arthurs?
Yes, I thought so.
Merlin? Was there a Merlin?
That's what I'm asking. Were those not real people?
I don't know.
What about Betty Crocker?
Harry Potter?
Betty Crocker, is she real or not real?
I don't know.
Laurel?
No.
Oh, that's a real question. No, yes.
Yes, it's a real question.
Yes, she's real. I'll do opposite of Laurel. Yes.
Michael, Betty Crocker, a real person or not?
I think she's a real person.
Y'all are all wrong. Betty Crocker was not a real person.
I said no.
Oh,
Nope.
Everybody but Laurel is wrong.
Don't fall for it, Joe.
Because the men at the company decided, probably smartly, that they needed a woman spokesperson for their company if they're going to be selling recipes and food items and stuff like that. So they conjured up this Betty Crocker character to become the face, the name, the voice, everything of the company. But it was an amalgamation of other characters. It was not a real person. What about Mrs. Fields from Mrs. Fields Cookies?
Yes.
Yes, that's a real person?
Yes.
Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a real person.
Josh?
Yes. No, she's not, because I'll go opposite.
I have met Mrs. Fields.
Oh, man. In your dreams or real life?
No, in real life. And I don't know how she is now. She could be dead now. I have no idea. But she was so gorgeous. I was quite smitten by Mrs. Fields. She was very pretty. I remember asking her about, was there a Mr. Field?
You like ladies that can cook, I think.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do. My name is Joe Kelley, along with our cast of characters here with Laurel and Josh and Beverly, Bentley, Steele, and Michael from our chat room. We'll continue our Friday night fun and games coming up next. Stay with us.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Now, the three big things you need to know.
3. You can refer to Dr. Dre as Dr. Icon. The rapper received the first ever Hip Hop Icon Award at the ASCAP Rhythm and Soul Music Awards in Los Angeles. He received the award for his contributions. 2. A new report by the real estate company Zillow says there aren't nearly enough places for Americans looking for a place of their own. The report says around 8 million Americans lived in someone else's home in 2021, but less than 4 million homes were available for sale or rent. A senior economist at Zillow likened the housing market to a high-stakes version of the game of musical chairs. 1. Texas has now sent over 500 busloads of illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities across the country. Republican Governor Greg Abbott praised the milestone, saying it has provided relief to overwhelmed border communities. More than 10,000 asylum seekers have been sent to Washington, D.C. since the program started.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Insightful.
You tell the truth from your point of view.
Entertaining.
Man, that guy is a lot taller than he sounds on the radio.
And engaging.
When we hear you on the radio, it's a good thing.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Friday night, fun and games. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to join the chat room on the WDBO Facebook page, I would encourage you to do so. We have a lot of fun in there. We have all kinds of crazy conversations, and people sing and do all different kinds of talents. There was a guy in there earlier that was so talented. He was able to make his ears move, like he could make his ears move up and down, and his Adam's apple and his eyebrows all moved up and down at the same time. That guy was so talented in the chat room. You all really need to check that out sometime. You ready for your next trivia question? Good. Laurel, I thought this was an interesting trivia question. You know that they can patent uniforms? Right? If you have a service uniform of some sort, they can patent that.
That makes sense, sure.
So what was the first patented service uniform in the United States, Laurel?
The Army.
It's a good guess.
The post office man.
Also a good guess, Michael?
I'm going to say the Navy uniform with that weird hat and all the whites.
Maybe I should say it's not a military uniform.
Do we get more guesses? Is that an option?
You're going to be blown away when I tell you what the answer is.
The milkman.
The Playboy Bunny work uniform was the first uniform.
Barely a uniform.
To receive a patent from the U.S. Patent Office. We'll get into Would You Rather questions coming up next. Stay with us.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Breaking news to lively debates, covering the issues that matter to you.
I make it a point to listen to Joe Kelley when I need to fully understand what's happening in the news.
Now, the Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's news and talk, WDBO.
Well, they made a change here at the radio station at some point during the day yesterday, and Laurel, you and I both noticed it. And in fact, after you and I both got off work last night, we had texted each other a couple times saying, hey, did you see that new sticker on the door?
And we both took pictures of it.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. It's hard to take a picture of it, but there is a new sticker on the employee entrance here at WDBO, and it's an anti-gun sticker. It's a sticker that says, no guns are allowed in the building, and then it shows a gun with a red line through it and the red circle around it. And you texted me, you're like, why do we have this new sticker on our door? And I'm like, I took a picture of it too. I'm also curious why we have a new sticker on the door. So I sent it up the chain, and I'm like, hey, what is the story behind this new sticker on the door? For what it's worth, it has always been against company policy to carry guns in the building. It's always been against the policy. We sign a document every year saying that we won't carry guns in the building. I mean, it's well documented that our policy is you can't carry guns in the building. So that's why I was a little surprised to see the sticker on the door, because most of us, if not all of us who work here, know what the policy is about guns. But when I texted up management, I'm like, why do we have that new sticker? The response was it's probably related to the changing gun law coming July 1st, in which we will have open carry. No, it's not open carry. It is unlicensed carry. So I'm guessing that our building and probably a lot of other people, employers, are putting up signs and stickers now saying, you can't bring guns on the property. It doesn't surprise me. I'm not dashed by it. I already knew that I can't bring my guns into the building here. I would bring all 50 of them every day if I could. I could just bring the whole armory in with me in a trailer. But we have rules against that, so we abide by the rules. Hey, are you guys ready for some Would You Rather questions?
Let's do it.
All right, it's our Friday night fun and games. So joining us once again, if you're just tuning in, joining us on tonight's show is Laurel. Then we got our listener, Michael, who's joining us on the phones. And then we got Josh, who's joining us tonight. And then we have me. Hi, I'm Joe. Would you rather have a completely automated home or a self-driving car? Laurel.
100% a self-driving car. I hate driving.
I've seen the way you drive. I think that you keep saying that. You keep saying that. But I think that's a good call for you. What about you? What about you, Michael? A completely automated home or a self-driving car?
I've got pretty close to an automated home as it is right now, so I think I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that, so I don't even have to leave. Where am I going to go if I got everything at home?
An automated home. All right, Josh, automated home or self-driving car?
I would hope that includes doing your chores for you, too, so it makes dinner, does dishes, does laundry, all that stuff. So I'm choosing that.
Yeah, it's like the Jetsons,
right?
Yeah,
100%. I can drive myself,
All right, yeah, I'm going to be with you on that one, too, then. I'm going to take the same answer on that one. Would you rather never be stuck in traffic again or never get another cold? Laurel. I know they're not really related things, but...
They're both inconveniences, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a cold, because at least in traffic, I can, jam to my tunes or whatever. But a cold, you can't breathe through your nose. It's the worst ever.
Michael, would you rather never be stuck in traffic again or never get a cold?
I'm stuck in traffic almost every day, and I get a cold 4 times a year, so I'm going to go with traffic.
Yeah. Josh?
That's what I was thinking. Clear the highways, now that you work 9 to 5, it'll open up those lanes for you. That's going to be a breeze.
And honestly, I hate to say this, I cannot remember the last time I had a cold. So I'm going to go with traffic.
Yeah.
I've had everything but a cold. I just haven't had a cold.
I got 2 young kids, so colds are more frequent than they ever were, but I'm still choosing no traffic.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Would you rather have super sensitive taste buds or super sensitive hearing? Laurel.
Those both sound awful. I don't want either.
Right?
I guess hearing, because I can wear earplugs everywhere.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, taste buds, I couldn't enjoy food because I'd taste every ingredient.
Michael?
I'm going to go with hearing. That'd be more useful and less of an annoyance if you can wear headphones.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm going to go hearing as well. Assuming it's not some superhuman annoying, I can never sleep at night hearing, then I'm going to go, let me hear those tones.
Yeah, I would rather have I feel like I already have super sensitive hearing. But I would rather have super sensitive hearing. Wait. Who did that? Who was that? Laurel? Was that Josh? Who did that?
A little bit of me.
Who did that?
You should be able to hear that, I thought.
I did hear it instantly. That's all I could hear. I hear every tiny little annoying sound. All right, would you rather never get angry or never be envious? Laurel.
Angry. I think envy can inspire you to do better sometimes, but anger is just a poison.
How interesting. That is an interesting perspective. Josh.
I can't follow with that kind of depth, so I'll just say angry with no context.
Michael?
I'm going to say envious because I want to be content with what I've got, and I'm sure I've got reasons to be mad occasionally, but hey, if I'm content, who cares?
Surrounded by philosophers over here. Jeez.
Wow. So in my case, would you rather never get angry or never get envious? I don't think I get angry very often. Have you guys... Wait, do I not know myself? Do I get angry? Hang on.
I've seen you angry, like in the studio. But that was years ago. It's not often.
It's pretty rare that I get angry.
Yeah.
And as far as being envious, I always look at this, the scriptural perspective of that, and I don't covet my neighbor's anything. I don't want my neighbor's stuff. So I'm not envious. So I feel like I shouldn't have to answer this one because I don't get angry and I don't get envious.
Is that an option? We can just choose.
I wish for more wishes. I want more wishes.
Am I allowed to do that, or is that not? Is that against the rules? I don't know anymore. I don't know what the rules are. I have no idea. Would you rather travel the world for a year, all expenses paid?
That one.
Or have $40,000 cash to spend on whatever you want? Laurel.
Nah, travel. Travel, definitely.
Michael.
Travel, absolutely.
Josh.
I'm trying to think. Could I do a little bit of both? Spend that $40,000 traveling and also, buy a nice little bicycle when I get home. Little extra scratch when I get home. No, travel. Travel's the answer.
Yeah, I think that would be my answer as well.
First class.
I think I would want to travel. Would you rather? Okay. Would you rather lose all of your money and valuables or lose all the photographs you have ever taken? Laurel.
No, my valuables can go. That's fine. I don't need any.
Wait,
of those.
I'm sorry. You have valuables?
No, that's the point. They can all go.
Actually, your valuables are very unorthodox.
Yeah, right.
Your valuables.
Yeah.
You have actually a ton of valuables, but people would break into your house and they would look at it and be like, meh.
Yeah, they'd go for the wrong thing. They don't know what's expensive in my house.
Right. And by that I mean all of your costuming and stuff like that.
Yeah,
those are thousands of dollars. All right, Josh, what about you?
I'm keeping the photos for sure.
Yep, Michael. Oh, did I lose? How did I lose Michael?
Calm down, Joe. Don't get angry. Don't get angry again.
Very high.
I'm just jealous. I'm envious that I don't have more callers on the line right now. But we lost Michael. Yeah, so let's see. Valuable. Yeah, definitely. I need to save all the pictures. Got to save the pictures. There are no valuables other than memories. So yeah, I would definitely keep the pictures. Would you rather donate your body to science or donate your organs to people who need them? Laurel.
Oh, well, that's easy, particularly given that we talked about the Harvard medical body seller the other day. Organs to the people that need them. And I'm an organ donor, so.
Was that when I was out?
Yeah. The guy in charge of Harvard Medical's morgue and his wife were stealing bodies and selling them on the internet.
Oh.
Yeah.
How about that?
Bodies donated to science, so yeah, I'm going organ donor.
Yeah. All right. Josh?
I forgot the question because the second you said that, I knew Laurel was going to jump on
Would you rather donate your body to science or donate your organs to people who need them?
Organs to people who need them.
If those are my only two options, I would rather donate my body to science, only because my organs are useless.
That's what Beth in the chat just said, too.
Yeah, my organs, I couldn't donate, or I'm not allowed to donate blood. I'm literally not allowed to donate blood.
Wow.
When you have cancer, when you have a blood cancer particularly, you are on the lifetime ban list. So sometimes when I see members of the gay community have complained that, they're not allowed to donate blood because of the concerns about HIV. And And I have, watched as members of the gay community have tried to get back into the good graces of blood donations. In fact, I think in recent years, they've been able to make donations. I'm not entirely sure about that. But, donating blood is something, Laurel, you used to do all the time.
Yeah, I'm O negative, which is the blood they use in like emergency rooms. Yeah, and for babies. And I used to go a lot, and it's on me. I've fallen off of it. But, yeah, it's a great thing to do.
So I'm not allowed to donate blood, so I would imagine I'm similarly not allowed to donate my organs. But you could use them for science. You could use them for a variety of other things.
They could cut you up, figure out what's in there.
They'll send your body to dental school, and you'll have dental students doing, dental work on your body and other things on your body. Ugh. Would you rather, I know, hang on, I know what Laurel's going to say on this one. Would you rather speak to animals or speak 10 foreign languages?
Yeah, 100% animals. I don't care what people say.
What the hell, man?
I
Really?
don't care what other people are saying. I want to talk to my dog.
How's that going to look on your resume compared to 10, if you could speak 10 languages?
They'll think I'm magic. It'll be awesome.
Oh, so you're going to put on your resume
Can speak to animals.
that you can speak to animals, because that won't seem weird at all.
Wait, no. Bring me a dirt. Bring me a bug.
That's right.
I'll prove it to you.
So, Michael, by the way, is back in our chat. He's not back on our phones, but he's back in our chat, and he says he would rather speak 10 languages. Josh, what about you?
I feel like the animals is way more profitable.
What?
Oh, yeah. All these people spending money to give their dogs purified water. And I'm like, oh, your dog's giving, there's something to be made there. There's some profit. How much money would somebody spend on their little chihuahua out in Beverly Hills?
Particularly if they can tell you what's wrong. Like when your dog's sick or your cat's sick, you don't know what's wrong with it, right? You got to guess. Your vet even kind of guesses, scientific guesses. You could be like, dog, and it'd be like, my lungs hurt. I'd be like, okay.
Okay.
We have no thoughts on this matter.
Can I talk? Can I talk for just a minute?
Yes.
Okay. So if you speak 10 foreign languages, people will think you're an absolute genius.
I don't care.
But if you communicate with animals,
they'll know you're a genius.
They're going to know that you're a nutball. You're an absolute kook.
Well, the second you prove it, right?
You think you're going to be able to prove to someone that you can speak to animals?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to say, the dog just told me that the dog doesn't want to eat kibble.
Right.
And the dog wants steak instead.
And the dog will tell me, my name is Rover. Why are you calling me the dog? I have a first name, Joe. Why are you so rude to me? And here I am, mending relationships.
You guys are completely out of your collective minds. It's not good. It won't work. It just won't work. All right, my name is Joe Kelley. Coming up, we'll continue our Friday night fun and games. Y'all stay right where you are. We'll continue. Coming up next.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and all of Central Florida. Join the conversation now by using the open mic in the WDBO app. Now, the Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's news and talk, WDBO.
Thank you for joining us here on a Friday late afternoon, Friday early evening. And we have been asking some would you rather questions. And where do we leave off? Was it whether or not you could talk to animals? And Laurel is just crazy that you'd rather talk to animals than be able to speak 10 foreign languages.
I don't care what other people think about me. I care what the dog has to say.
But, the dog is going to be like, man, I just want to sniff some butt right now.
Hilarious.
You're not going to learn anything from your dog. Your dog is going to be like, oh, I think I'm going to throw up. That's the only thing that dogs want to talk about. Like when I get home, my stepdog, Arwen, gets so excited to see me when I get home. And he will race around the apartment trying to find some sort of toy to show me. And he's like, oh, I got to show Dad a toy. And he just runs. And then he sticks his butt in my face. Like he puts his butt up. Like rub my butt, Dad, is what he said.
Yeah, they're like butt scritches.
Right. Why would I think that I need to hear him say that? Because it's quite clear what the dog wants, right?
Much funnier than anything a human has to say.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You guys did a great job tonight. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody in our chat room and Laurel, Josh, good job tonight. Beverly Bentley Steele, love you. Thank you. Glad you could be here with us tonight. And coming up next, it's the third hour of Sean Hannity. If all things go as planned, we'll see you back here Monday night at 5 o'clock here on WDBO. Have a great, safe weekend. Love you guys, and we'll catch up soon.